I know this is sort of a weird video because this doesn't focus on a particular anime or anime film or manga, but it does particularly talk about a score or a segment of the score that I really love about a particular film. As you guys probably know, I'm a huge Miyazaki fan, and I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan, as I've done a recommendation list for them, about them. Every time I see one of their movies, I am drawn to by their visuals, by their storytelling, but particularly as well by the score. And I think that that is one of the major things about Ghibli that many other studios just don't capture all that well. I think that we've seen this with Kung Fu Panda and DreamWorks, where they do a really good job in getting a great score work together, but it's not as well done as every single film throughout the Ghibli line, where you're seeing great individual pieces that make that film iconic. Spirited Away is probably one of my favorite films because of the fact that it is my childhood. It is the first film that I've seen that was from Ghibli. It's one of the first anime films that I've seen. I probably, as a kid, saw Pokemon the movie, but I can't recall. But Spirited Away is the first movie that I remember seeing as a kid, paying attention to it, having it on DVD, watching it multiple times. And that score, whenever the score begins with the slow piano roll, there's a particular segment of my brain that goes into nostalgia, goes into a particular emotional perspective of what that movie brought to me, whether it was when I was a kid or whether I'm thinking about a particular scene. It does such a great job. And then whenever it gets when it goes to a much higher end toward the middle and toward the end, it just makes it so beautiful. I really love the score. It's one of my favorites of all time. Of course, there are scores from Nausicaa. There are other scores, even from there's the Sixth Stop, which is another piece in Spirited Away itself that I really love. But this score, I think that if you're a huge Miyazaki fan like me, if you watch this as a kid, or if you just want to jump in, this is why I always say, whenever I see someone and they say I don't watch old anime. I don't watch anime that came out a long time ago. I don't watch. I always find it difficult to understand, because if you really want to get into the greatness of anime, you're going to have to go back and see some really great pieces, whether that's anime, whether it's music. Again, this is one of the most well-known scores, in general, which is why it's so popular. But it's one of those that is just so well done that sometimes it makes me calmer, sometimes it brings up nostalgia memories, sometimes it does a lot, because I have such a connection with that particular score. And whenever I hear it, if even on just for YouTube for just a minute, if I want, I always go back to it every once in a while, because it's just such a great piece in Spirited Away itself. So guys, if anything, I'd recommend, obviously checking out and listening to this. One Summer's Day is beautiful. It's fantastic, and you'd really gain a lot by understanding Ghibli, and the fact that if you really want to understand Ghibli, you should probably check out their music. It's one of the centerpieces. It is probably the most important piece out of the multiple things that are needed: storytelling, animation, and music. It's one of the most important things, and it's beautiful almost every time in almost every Ghibli film. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? Comment below. Thanks for listening. I'm Brian Swan, and this is an anime recommendation. I haven't done this in a while, but I think I'll jump into a little more if I can do it on the more personal side like this, instead of doing it scripted, unless I really need a script. So stay tuned for more, guys.